What's good, everyone? It's your guy, Wine Time Sports, here on Pub Sports Radio with my guy, Spoons Bets, fresh off, getting off that, PJ coming from Vegas, Bet Bash over there. Shout out to our guy, Spoons, for making it here. I'm excited. Me and him haven't done a lot of research before this card today, but maybe this is going to be some of our best work here today, guys, because we're going to be working together as a team here because neither of us have placed a bet on this card tomorrow. I'm excited to be here with you, Spoons. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Spoons, quick little breakdown on how was Bet Bash. I might need to get there next year. I was almost going to go this year, but let the people know how it was and if you had a good time or not.
So I was really looking forward to this. I had some questions, some reservations on like how much value I might be able to take from it. Is this just going to be a party where you're going to see a bunch of like touts hanging out? What is it really going to be? And Spanky did a really good job setting everything up. You had seminars, basically classes each day, gave you a wide variety to pick from, get to see a lot of different things. Getting to hear Joe Petta talk about trading bases. He just got back in. So he's been running basically the back ends of books here for the last like decade-ish. And he just got back onto the good side. He's trying to take money from the books again. Getting to hear his that book's over 10 years old now. So his fresh thoughts on some of those things, what he's attacking in baseball, having conversations and being like, what are you doing? Really funny. Finished up our conversation, go down to the sports book, light a cigar. Kyle's coming down to meet me. I glance over. Joe Petta's running down towards the Circa Survivor Series where you like make entries. And he's got a duffel bag with him. And sits there for a few minutes. He's in a big group of people and runs out with his duffel bag. And I was like, I bet you that thing was just chock full of cash.
That's awesome.
That was pretty cool. Getting to meet some awesome people. Kyle in person, Straight Edge Bets, Matt, one of the most successful sports gamblers that exists, ranked in the top 10 for the last few years on Juice Reel. Everything's backed up, tracked. Incredibly smart person. No surprise talking to him that he worked at NASA at one point. That was one of my favorite interactions. I met some really cool new people. Got a bunch of numbers. Some people. I got some connects for different like tools and stuff people are trying to push out there, and kind of glance at some of them. Maybe I'll start to back a couple of them, but probably not. There's a lot there that's good. Most of it is just the people you'll meet, the times you'll have. Getting to meet Ian McMurphy, that was pretty cool. Sammy P. Wasn't really aware of who he was coming into it. Bear Betts, Will Hill, just some really like guys that have some footing in this industry and they do things the right way. And there's a lot of that. One of the most hilarious things was they did an ethics of touting seminar, and Steve Fezzik goes up on the stage. Most of the people in the audience, I assume, know who Steve Fezzik is if you're here. An interesting person to bring up on an ethics of touting seminar. So Juice Reel's CEO, my guy Ricky Gold, was up there, and they had Calvin and Hobbs, one of the most successful gamblers here in the last decade or so. Calvin's very sharp guy, like one of a kind of personality and everything. And then they had a school teacher. He's actually out of Columbus. I was talking to him for a little bit after. I was unfamiliar with his stuff, but he was super anti-tout. And they're just all going back and forth. And the questions were like, should people be selling picks to make money? And every single person, including Fezzik on the actual staff there, they all said that most people should not be selling picks and most people should not be buying picks to make money. There's a very small percentage, whether it be 1-2% of people might be able to do something there, but most of the touts are bullshit. It was no surprise. It was fun. That was one of the coolest seminars. They were like shouting at each other, making up some really wild stuff. It was great to meet everybody. Ricky from Juice Reel, like one of a kind. Great cat. I was really excited to hang out with him. We went out, did some dinners and stuff. I finished it off last night with Sammy P. Does some Fox college football content, and his brother's getting married out there. We were up till 5 a.m., so 8 a.m. East Coast time. So let's get it cracking. We got a bunch of games to get through. I think it's going to be a good card tomorrow. I'm excited for this. I think there's some weather in the schedule that's should be kind of concerned. A lot of times I'll take a little more time to look into each individual place and see, is this rain actually going to matter? But we'll look into it as we go.
Love to hear it, Spoon. Sounds like you had a great time at Bet Bash, man. definitely might have to get out there the next year. So I got to get out to Vegas. That's for sure. Vegas always feels like home. Whenever you walk into those sports books, it always feels a little bit different when you walk into those. So glad you had a good time, my guy. Glad to have you back here, and I'm glad you're here to join me. Shout out to everyone in the chat that's here with us, guys. We're going to get right into this card here, guys. I'm excited. We've got the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Washington Nationals. This is going to be an early start here, guys. This is going to be a 9:15 a.m. start over here on the West Coast, where Spoons just was 12:15 over there on the East Coast. Brady Singer here on the mound against Lord here from the Washington Nationals. Nationals going for the sweep. Yeah, they took care of business today. So going for the sweep here. Nationals, it kind of seemed like at one point, Spoons, they were going nowhere fast. Kind of seemed like they were on the fade train, and they still might be if we're being completely honest. They've got a couple really good players, and obviously Wood's on the IL right now, so we'll see what happens. But this team's kind of falling behind right now at this point. I don't think we're going to see either of these teams in the postseason. We shouldn't see either of these teams in the postseason. We do have a line here for the Washington Nationals that opened up at a -145 here at DraftKings, I believed, and this line has actually flipped now towards. Let's see. It has actually flipped towards the Cincinnati Reds here. Let me look at a couple books here, guys. Again, me and Spoons, we've capped this card a little bit, but we don't have all the info we usually have. So might have to look at a couple different things here. But it does look like that this line has flipped, and the Cincinnati Reds now are the favorite here. Let me pull up my book here, and if we do have this. I still don't even have this line available at either of my books right now. But we do have Brady Singer going up against Trevor Williams here. Still got C.J. Abrams in this lineup here from Washington. They shipped away Luis Garcia. Still some good bats in this lineup here. Spoons, I kind of wanted to be on the Reds here to avoid the sweep, but at the same time, I don't really know if I want to be backing the Cincinnati Reds at this point, Spoons. Take it away, my guy. My lean right now is towards the Reds. Do you have anything in this game?
Yeah, I don't have a bet in this game, and I don't think I'm going to try to make one. Washington has lost some significant pieces in their offense. So, we look at their full season stats, they still look beautiful, but you start looking at some of the more recent stats. Wood, obviously, out of the lineup right now. They just traded one of their better bats, Mead, over to Boston, immediately went down. They have a fourth bat out of there, too. Was it Lopez? No, Garcia. Has been missing, got traded as well. So, you start gutting the most productive bats from a lineup, it becomes a much different lineup than what the stats say. I would agree with the line movement. I think Cincinnati should be favored in this game, even on the road. Brady Singer has a little worse road splits than home splits so far this season, but I think that's more variance than anything. I think Singer's the better pitcher between him and Lord right now. And Cincinnati's offense has all their pieces there. These are two bullpens that are absolutely atrocious. So maybe you just take the team that's down 2 runs in the 5th inning and just cross your fingers and get some nice plus money. But I'm not going to wind up with a bet in this game. If I was forced to pick, I would just move to Cincinnati. Don't really have much interest in the total. I think it could get over, but just because of how bad the bullpens are. But the offense on Washington's side right now, I'd really just rather try to take advantage of them being inefficient.
All right. Well, this is going to be a pass as of right now for both Spoons and I. I might get involved with the Reds here, guys. I had originally one of the couple things I did write down was the Reds money line here, avoiding the sweep here against a Nationals team that, like I said, I don't know if they're still competing to actually go to the playoffs at this point, but excuse me. With that being said here, we can move on to our next game here, Spoons, and I do believe it is the Atlanta Braves taking on the New York Yankees here. We have Grant Holmes on the mound here for the Atlanta Braves, 70-47 on the season, a very impressive season so far. Had some injuries, but they're still winning games. With that being said here, Cam Schlittler on the mound here for the New York Yankees. This guy's up for Cy Young at this point right now. This guy has had a hell of a season so far this year, sitting here at 10-6 with a 2.26 ERA. Yankees have been without Judge for quite some time. They're still hanging around right now. I don't think the Yankees are going to be a team that we're going to be backing when it comes down to October. They're probably going to be a first-round exit. Don't matter who they face. But with that being said here, in this game, as of right now, let's break this one down by looking at the market here before I hand this one off here to Spoons. We've got 57% of tickets on the New York Yankees and Cam Schlittler, and 74% of the cash on Schlittler. This line hasn't moved. In fact, it actually has moved a little bit towards Grant Holmes here, where I kind of want to be here in this spot. What happened in game 2 here? Let me pull this up here really quick because Yankees actually took care of business today, 3-2. I kind of want to be on the Atlanta Braves here in this spot. I want to back Grant Holmes. Let's take a look here at this total, though, because this is probably the spot where I wanted to be more involved here. We have 56% in tickets on the over and 63% of cash on the over. This line is an 8.5 right now at a minus 115, I believe, to the under. It is my under 8.5 at a minus 115. This is kind of a higher total here, Spoons, for two pitchers that have been pitching extremely well. I mean, is Cam Schlittler going to get lit up in smoke tomorrow for the first time in quite some time? Let's pull up and see if we have any weather on this game here, Spoons, because this will determine here. I mean, 90 degrees, wind 9 miles per hour out. It looks like hitter-friendly conditions at the ballpark, so that probably makes sense. In that case, I kind of want to be involved with the Braves here, Spoons. I kind of want to back Grant Holmes, but I kind of want to be on this over here. Let's see what I can get. Best number available right now on the over. I get over 8.5 at a minus 105 right now. It's either that or the Braves for me, Spoons. I'm not going to make anything official quite yet. I kind of want to let this market marinate a little bit more, but take it away. Grant Holmes, Cam Schlittler. You muted, my friend.
Very interesting matchup we have here. Cam Schlittler, obviously one of the best pitchers in the major leagues so far this season. But if we look at like a couple of his last few games here in just recent form, what has he been doing? Only went 3 innings that last time out, 85 pitches, 4 earned runs. 2 games before that, 4th inning, gave up 3 earned runs. He's starting to regress back a little bit. And sometimes that makes me worried, especially with younger guys who don't have the innings built up yet. Like in their career, some pitchers really ever struggle to make it past 150 pitches or 150 innings. And Cam Schlittler didn't have a full season last year. He's already thrown more than twice the amount of pitches he did last season. And we're getting closer to the end of the season. The Yankees have playoff aspirations. I don't think they're really going to throw him out there the full time, but I do think he bounces back. I don't think he has a bad game versus this Braves lineup. There are a bunch of lefties in this lineup. Maybe he struggles a little bit more with lefties, but he still gives up an OPS that's 594 versus lefties, 277 xFIP. For any other pitcher in Major League Baseball, that would be the better split. So I'm not worried about it. I think this Braves lineup is better with Acuna back there, but it's not anything that worries me. I look to this under. This Yankees offense is hot garbage right now. Grant Holmes is not a great pitcher by any means, but throughout the course of the season, he's delivered a lot of value. It's tough looking at the numbers. That the splits, both sides don't look beautiful, but he's going out there, he's winning games for his team, keeping them in a position to win. And I don't think either of these offenses are that hot right now. I'm tempted on this under. I haven't moved on it. The road home away situation, I don't know if maybe I would rather just take a Yankees team total under and just put it on Grant Holmes to pitch well, but then I'm taking Schlittler out of that equation, and I don't really want to do that. So I like the full game total under. I don't think I have a huge issue with the price it's at right now. What's the best number I can get with the current books I have here? The best number I can get is minus 108 on that under.
Oh, wow.
Looks like maybe it's moved a little bit to the over in some spots. So I'm not going to move too fast here.
Yeah, I'm not going to move too fast either, Spoons, because before you said you were considering the under, I literally just wrote down the over. I kind of want to take the over. I was on the over today at cash. I kind of want to be back on the over here today. I know the total was a lot lower today. I think we got a 7.5, I think it was, but it's an 8.5 today. I don't know. I like this spot here. I think that this is going to go over. I have it written down. Haven't made it official yet, and I won't make it official until either after the show or tomorrow. If I do make it official, make sure you follow me on Twitter. I'll tweet it out, and I will also put it in the comment section below. But we can move on here to our next game here, and I believe that is going to be the New York Mets taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates right here. Got Sean Manaea here on the mound here. Let's pull this up. And we've got Jared Jones, a guy I've backed a ton this season from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Two teams kind of heading in the no playoff territory. Mets obviously have been playing better baseball as of late. They've got a lot of good guys in this lineup, as I've mentioned before. It's just if they can put it all together, and they haven't all season long. Probably not going to put it together here. Got Jared Jones, who, he's had some really good starts. He's also gotten smoked a couple times as well. This lineup just does not look the same as it did in the beginning of the season. I don't really like this lineup. I think the Pirates are only going to get worse as the season goes on here. Let's look at the market here before we say anything. We got 52% of tickets coming in and 92% of cash coming in on Jared Jones and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So, only half the tickets, but a lot of the money coming in. Line has moved a little bit in their direction. It opened up at a minus 138. Some spots we're seeing some minus 145s at BetMGM and FanDuel right now. I kind of want to be on Jared Jones and the Pittsburgh Pirates here, Spoons, but again, nothing I want to get involved with quite yet. Let's look at the total here. We have 67% of bets on the under and 88% of cash on the under here, and this line has actually moved to an 8. It opened up at an 8.5. Give or take, it was a minus 120, so it has moved down to an 8 right now. We still have an 8.5 here at Caesars. It's looking like at a minus 120. I like both of these pitchers. What do you think about an under in this game here, Spoons, with two offenses as well that, don't get me wrong, the Mets have some good bats in that lineup, but they still haven't been scoring runs all season. What do you think about this under 8 right here?
I like the under 8. Just to start off strong, Sean Manaea, not a pitcher that we've been backing all season or anything like that. He's not had the most successful season. Started out doing some bullpen relief work, but where he's worked up to now, we look at his last 5 starts, 4 of them are quality starts. I mean, that's really solid work going out there. Versus the Royals, 7 innings pitched, just 3 earned runs. Got tagged a little bit by Philadelphia last time he saw them. 4 earned runs pitched into the 5th, but since then the Dodgers 1 run over 6 innings, the Braves 2 runs over 6 innings, 2 runs to the Guardians. Like, he's going out there and pitching pretty well to a lot of these lineups, and I'd definitely say Pittsburgh's kind of taken a step backwards in the second half. They had an offense that was overperforming the entire first half, so this is just the regression that was probably expected for Pittsburgh here. Looking at the New York Mets, I think they should find a way to win this game. I don't think there's a ton of value here. They're on the road. They are a dog, but Jared Jones is a really good pitcher. For me, it comes down to the bullpen. Like, where is the Mets bullpen? Where is the Pittsburgh bullpen? Those are bigger questions. I'm looking at the first 5 under. I'm looking at the first 3 under. I can trust these 2 starters, and I can have enough lack of faith in the 2 offenses here. The best number I can get on the first 3 under right now is minus 115. It probably closes like minus 130. So there's not a huge edge on that. I like that first 2 under. With the full game under, I just can't get there with the bullpens. Maybe a little bit of value on the Mets as well, but I'm looking seriously at playing in that first 3 under. I'm going to continue to run some numbers here, see what it looks like.
I'm going to make it official here, Spoons, because I actually can get an 8.5 at a minus 120. I'm going to move on the under 8.5 at a minus 120. A little bit juicy here, but I'll take that extra half run and pay the extra 10 cents of juice here for the under here, full game. I don't have anything available for first 3 and first 5 yet. So if I do, I might end up moving on this first 5 under as well. We'll see. Shout out to my guy, Guillermo Zertucci, in the building right there. Shout out to you, my guy. Hope all is well your way, my friend. We got college football coming up. Looking forward to it. With that being said here, Spoons, this is going to be my first official play here on the card. Pittsburgh Pirates, New York Mets, under 8.5, minus 120. Let's move on here to our next game, Spoons. What do we have here on the card? And we have, thanks, Swiggy. Appreciate you, my guy. Swig, if you can do the controls tonight, I'd appreciate it, my man. I'll get you a beer next time I see you as well. Appreciate you, my friend. Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Philadelphia Phillies here. We've got, this is not correct. I don't think correct.
Luzardo is going, and I believe it's Bieber.
We've got Shane, the little baby Bieber here on the mound here. This line is very appropriate here for Luzardo. This is crazy. What are we seeing right here? Minus 274 at DraftKings. but elsewhere it's only minus 200. What am I getting at my book right here, Spoons? Let's see. This might be a run line here for the Phillies. I think the Phillies might fucking smack these guys around here tomorrow. Let's pull this up here. Okay, but we've got Jesus Luzardo here on the mound, 10-5 record with a 3.36 ERA. This lineup, Spoons, I mean, you heard Harper complain about how they needed to get new guys in here. They went out and they grabbed a guy like Luis Arias, probably the perfect fit for this roster. This lineup looks like it could be one of the best lineups in baseball right now. They better get it together. They've got a lot of guys making a lot of money in this lineup, and they've got a really good starting rotation out there as well. These guys better do something. With that being said, Blue Jays going nowhere. This team isn't going to be in the postseason this year. Made a couple trades. It was interesting that they went after Soriano. They do have him for the next couple years, but that was really interesting. With that being said here, Spoons, let's go over the market here in this game. Let's pull it up right here. If I can, 1 second here, Spoons. Apologies, guys. Don't have it pulled up right here. There we go. Okay, we've got 84% of tickets and 76% of cash coming in on the Philadelphia Phillies. They're a big favorite here. And you see Shane Bieber on the mound. I mean, he's usually not this much of a dog ever, but I think that this line tells us everything we need to know that Phillies are probably going to smash and grab here in this spot. Let me see if I can even get a minus 1.5. I actually don't even have this line available at my book, so I can't move on it. I'm going to write down the Phillies minus 1.5 here, Spoons. Let me know what you think about this game. Toronto Blue Jays, Philadelphia Phillies. Shout out to our guy Nasty Nate in the building as well. He said, Spoons, did you put there we go. So did you book your flight? Shout out to our guy Swig, Deacon Mike out there as well. Parlay away, weather offensive. I think the Phillies are going to smash and grab. I think they're going to absolutely smash Shane Bieber here in this spot, Spoons. What do you think about this game?
So immediately when I see Toronto going up against the lefty, I just want to fade their offense. But it's not just any lefty. This is Luzardo at home. And I think this is a spot we could probably trust Luzardo to go out there and absolutely deal. We saw some struggles early on in the season, and that's why his home ERA is still sitting almost up at 5. The bank is not always an easy place to pitch, but kind of look at his last few starts at home. He just saw Washington, went 8 innings pitched, didn't give up a single run. Miami was a road game. Then he saw New York, 7 innings pitched, just 1 earned run. Saw the little brother team in the Mets, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run. So his last 3 starts, he's really got on track. And I mean, if you break his season down to like the first third and the second 2/3, the second 2/3 has been the best pitching we've ever seen from Jesus Luzardo in his career. Maybe the Blue Jays have enough righties to find a way to get like 1 run off of him, but the Blue Jays aren't going to score runs off Luzardo. It's just not going to happen. Comes down to me, is Shane Bieber going to go out there and pitch well? Obviously, coming back from injury late in the season, it's been a roller coaster. We just look at his last few starts. Seattle, 7 earned runs, then goes and sees the Padres, just 2 earned runs, but doesn't get into the 5th inning even. Blanks the White Sox, has a great start versus Tampa Bay. Between those 2 games, he goes 13 innings, gives up just 1 earned run. Starts to look like he's back on track, but it was back-to-back home games for him. And now he hits the road. He sees Washington with a weakened lineup. They got 4 earned runs off him. He didn't pitch an inning in that game. Then he found a way to bounce back versus Houston. I just don't trust this guy right now. Like, maybe if he was coming off a bad game, it would be easier for me to trust him. I would like to go to a first 3 under and just say that he can pitch well for a little bit. But these bullpens are very taxed. Louis Varland's on 3 the last 4 days. That's the closer for Toronto right now. The same thing is happening in the Phillies bullpen. Duran, Bellin, Kirkring, all on 3 of the last 4 days. Jose Alvarado is well. Sugar is as well. Like, this is a very taxed bullpen coming into this game. So I think the only thing I could do is take Toronto first 5, team total under, or first 3 under for the full game. The first 3 under at the best price I can get is minus 105. I'm trying to pull up the team total right now. Hit me with your guess on what you think the team total is going to be for Toronto in the first 5 innings.
For Toronto in the first 5 innings, let me pull this up. Let me just, again, sorry, I was looking at something else right here. we have a total here at an 8.5. I'm going to say for the first 5 innings for the Blue Jays, I don't know, 2.5 juice to the under.
It is 1.5 juice to the under. I was hoping to see a 2.5. Like I would even paid like 130 for the 2.5.
Wow. What's
Lazardo's
the number?
going to go out there and absolutely deal. There's not enough meat on the bone to take that first half under. I'm gonna go out there and say first 3 under. That number is sitting at 2.5 and it's -105. That will close well regardless of anything. It's really going to come down to, can you put the faith in Shane Bieber? Honestly, when he doesn't look broken, he looks really good. He looks healthy, but the couple starts where 700 runs, can't get out of the first, it just looks broken when he walks out there. Maybe you wait 2 minutes into the game and watch him throw a couple pitches. I don't know. This is what I'm close to. I like that first 3 under, but again, haven't bet anything. That one might make the card.
That one might make the card here for Spoon's Bets. Let's move on to our next game here. My Anaheim Angels taking on the Miami Marlins here. We've got Grayson Rodriguez coming off probably his best start ever in an Angels uniform, I would say, going up against Ryan Gusto here from the Miami Marlins, sitting here at 59-59. Shout out to Jose Siri for gunning that guy out a couple nights ago. That was absolutely crazy. This Angels roster, Spoons, like the beginning of the season, I thought this offense was going to be really good. I thought they had a lot of good bats, and not saying that they didn't. And they did trade away, a couple key pieces, but this team just hasn't been able to get it together at all this season. It just seems like through a full 9 innings, yeah, they'll have their game 1 every 4 games where they score more than 5 runs. But for this most part, this offense is quiet night in and night out. You got guys like Mike Trout and Zach Neto in this lineup, Spoons, but again, these guys are hitting under 250 this year. Yeah, they're hitting home runs, but there's only so much you can do when there's no one on base when you're hitting these home runs and you're not getting runs elsewhere. And that's been the Angels' biggest problem this year. Year in and year out, we constantly talk about pitching, bullpen, and yeah, the bullpen has, this is, I believe we are I think it's at 9 right now, but they have 9 blown leads in the 8th inning or more this season, and the record for that in a season is 11 games. So the Angels are quietly approaching that. So yeah, the bullpen hasn't done well, but at the same time, this offense hasn't done well all season long, Spoons. These guys can't score runs, so I kind of want to be on a team total under here for the Angels. They just can't get it together. What are we looking at here for a total full game here? Let me pull this up here. We've got an 8.5 right now. 89% of tickets and 89% of tickets and 88% of cash on the under. Kind of crazy to see. We usually don't see a bunch of money on the under early on, but it's probably because people know that the Angels just can't score on this Marlins team. Again, yeah, they played some good baseball this year, but I don't like this offense like a ton. They're okay. They've got some good young bats in there. I don't think they're going to be in the postseason. With that being said, I kind of want to be on an under here, Spoons, under 8.5. I don't know. What do you think about this game? Angels, Marlins.
It's difficult to try to fully cap Ryan Gusto. You're not getting a ton of length out of him for the most part, but they're starting to extend him here a little bit. 3 of his last 4 starts, he's now gone into the 5th inning or greater. So maybe we will see a little bit more depth. If I can get 5 innings out of Gusto, I think there's some serious reasons to want to play the Marlins tomorrow. Grayson Rodriguez, last year, has had career issues with lefties. The whip is sitting almost 2. It won't sit that high full season. There will be some regression for that, but that's terrible. The walks, hits per innings pitched, that means you're putting 2 guys on base every single inning. And so if he goes out there for 5 innings, that's 10 base runners for the Marlins. I think the Marlins can do something with that. I think there's enough lefties in this lineup. You'll probably see 6 of them. Xavier Edwards is a switch at the top, can go both ways. He'll be hitting from the left tomorrow, is my guess. I think the Marlins find a way to get some runs here early. I think they find some ways to get some runs here late. A lot of the better arms for the Angels have started to disappear. You do have Ben Joyce back there at the end.
Yeah.
But like that's the anchor when you have the 1-run lead. You don't bring Ben Joyce in any other situation right now, right? Awesome to see him back, flamethrower. It was sad to see him deal with that injury so early in his career, but Outside of that, this is a trash bullpen again, in my opinion. Marlins have some pieces they're missing themselves. Nardi and Bender have combined for quite a few saves. I'm missing that line here on my page. They two of the better arms, but they still have Fairbanks, Foucher, Peterson, Gibson that still have some decent arms. They have Vodnik in there too, my guy Trevor's favorite pitcher. I think the Marlins find a way to win this game tomorrow. It's creeping up. 138 was the best number I saw earlier. Just refreshed. Minus 145 is the best number. I agree with that line movement, but like you said, why isn't it just like an Angels team total under? Like, we're getting a bigger number because Gusto hasn't been very trustworthy so far this season, but the recent numbers say he's pitching better. He struggles with lefties. Like, the Angels don't have lefties in their lineup. That's not how the lineup is constructed. And Rodriguez, I mean, same thing. Struggles with lefty. That's how their lineup is constructed. First 5 money line is sitting minus 150, so I'd have to lay a half run. I'm interested in it. I like the full game better. If it comes back down and I can get 140 or better, I'll take Miami. I see Novig has something. I'm not sure what the liquidity is, if I can even get it down or anything. But Miami's circled as well with a couple first 3 unders earlier on the card. But I just don't see how the Angels really compete in this baseball game one time.
Yeah, I don't think so either, especially Grayson Rodriguez coming off such a good start. Is he going to put it together back-to-back start? I don't believe so. Don't get me wrong, the bright side of the Angels has been their pitching. They've got one of the better pitching coaches in baseball and Mike Maddox. But, like I said, when you can't score, you can only do so much. And the Angels only score if Zach Neto and Mike Trout hit a home run. They don't score. They don't get base hits when there's people in scoring position. It just doesn't happen. It hasn't happened all season, and this isn't just like a 50-game sample. This is a 115, 120-game sample we're seeing. They can score runs. I'm not going to back them. If anything, I'm going to fade this offense tomorrow. Take the team total under. Once it's available for me on my end, I think I'm going to take it here, Spoons. Let's move on.
Yeah. I want to look at what the number is real quick on my best book right now before we move on, because I as well like that, because you get the full 9 innings built into like how they construct it, but realistically, that how much value does that add us? So team totals 4.5 is sitting for Miami, and that is minus 120 juice to the under, 102 juice to the over. And then the Angels are sitting at 3.5, minus 120 juice to the under is the best number I have. That's around where Penny's at 124. So I think that's a decent number. I almost think that even closes well for the under there. Actually, I'm sorry, the under is the plus money side of this. So Penny has plus 104 on the under 3.5 is their best number.
Wow. Yeah, I wrote it down. This will probably be official tomorrow. Will be an Angels team total under, and this might just be something we do every single game the rest of the season, guys. Like I said,
that's going to be juice to the under as well. Damn. I think that flips. Like the juice is on the over right now. That flips all the way around. I like where you're at there. I think I might tell you on that.
I think I'm going to get there too once it becomes available on my end. Shout out to everyone in the chat, guys. If you guys can do us a huge favor, hit the like button, share the video. We appreciate it here, guys. Leave a comment after the video. Appreciate you guys. Let's go. We can move on here to our next game here, Spoons, and that's going to be the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Chicago White Sox. White Sox, not sure what's going on over there, south side of Chicago right now, but it's nothing good. Kind of falling apart as we see right now. Lost another one today, I believe. So the Guardians going out there for the sweep. Guardians doing Guardian things this time of season, always seeming to just play their best baseball in August and September. And when you play your best baseball in August and September, you might have a ticket to October. And that's exactly what they're trying to do right here, trying to get ahead of the Chicago White Sox here, I believe. Let's see where they are. Yeah, I mean, they're right there. What are they, half game apart right now? This is going to be must-watch baseball tomorrow. And not just that, guys. We have Davis Martin on the mound here for Chicago White Sox. I know he hasn't been pitching well as of late, but he's still – I like everything I see from Davis Martin. And then you got Joey Cantillo here, the lefty on the mound here for the Cleveland Guardians, 8-7 record with a 3.87 ERA. This is must-watch baseball. I think if you're going to this ball game, you're going to have a hell of a time. It's probably going to be scorching hot out there. Let's see what it is. 42% chance of rain. Wow. Okay. So that's going to be something we're going to have to keep in mind here when I go over the market here. We have 74% of tickets and 77% of cash on the Chicago White Sox to avoid the sweep. This line opened up at a minus 117. This line's only moving towards the Guardians right now, Spoons. I think the Guardians are going to get the brooms out and play the kind of baseball that they play every single year at around this time of year. I'm going to write down the Guardians right now. Let me see. I mean, if I can actually get it available at my book, I might actually play it here. Cleveland Guardians, -110. You guys could probably get a better number than me. I know you can, because the book that I'm looking at right now, this is like a secondary book for me, and it's not the best lines, and it's a -110 right now for Joey Cantillo. I'm going to be on the Guardians here, Spoons, unless you can talk me off. Take it away. Davis Martin going against Joey Cantillo. Fight for the division here in the AL Central.
Yeah, so I'm still trying to get Cleveland's bullpen fully updated here. I don't have the entire nothing.
Oh, White Sox won tonight. I apologize. Sorry for interrupting you, Spoons. I didn't see that they won. My bad.
Nothing comes available with that till midnight. So I'm just going to go quickly double check the arms they have there. Davis Martin's getting wrecked right now. It's not close. Like, to start the season, this guy was pitching his ass off. A 1.41 ERA in the month of April, a 2.05 ERA in the month of May. Like, just going out there, putting his team in a position to win. At that point in the season, they were sitting like 8-1 in his starts, 9-1 in his starts, like doing very well. Then everything starts to slide down as soon as the weather kind of warms up. In June, 5.6 ERA. In July, 6. And now so far in August, he's sitting on a 16.2 ERA. Obviously, that's a little inflated. It won't stay that high. That is because he gave up 9 earned runs to the Red Sox last time he saw them, 4 earned runs to the Yankees the game before that, 4 earned runs to the Astros before that. Pitched decent versus the Blue Jays, as everybody does, and then gave up 5 earned runs to the Red Sox the time. So this guy's getting wrecked. Cleveland's offense, I've had questions about it, but they made some moves. It's not just Cuadra or Ramirez anymore. Now you have some extra pieces in this lineup. The bullpen is pretty good. I like the back end arms. I struggle to say they're better than the White Sox, because honestly, like, Grant Taylor's one of the best relief arms in baseball. They have a decent back end there with the White Sox. But it comes down to Cantillo. Can we go out there and trust him? He himself has been a little bit back and forth. 4 earned runs to the Pirates, 5 earned runs to the Rays, just 2 versus the Mets last time out. Blanked the Reds the time before that. So kind of feels like when it's a weaker offense, Cantillo's going to go out there and pitch pretty well. And then when it's not, he's probably going to give up 3 or 4 earned runs. And I mean, that's not a bad pitcher. That's just a mediocre pitcher. And I think that's all it takes to beat Davis Martin right now. He doesn't look healthy. He doesn't look right. I like your side here with Cleveland on the road. Very important series for playoff implications. 42% rain at first pitch, my model's showing me. I'm not positive that's full, but generally when it's flashing there, that means at least one weather report has done that.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. There's a chance of rain tomorrow too. I'm making it official here. Guardians money line -110. I'm just trusting them that this time of year that they're going to get it done here, guys. So this is going to be an official play for me here. Let's go. I like the Guardians here. I'm getting a -110. I could probably get a better number, and I probably will take the better number tomorrow. I'm not going to throw my full wager on it today, but I will tweet it out at the -110. With that being said here, we can move on to our next game here. Minnesota Twins. I had 2 plays today. I was on the over in the Yankees, and I was on the Minnesota Twins money line. And Twins ended up losing it. And I think it was in the bottom of the 9th or in extra innings. Couldn't get it done at plus money. It is what it is. Here they are at even more plus money. Pre-lip on the mound against Mizorowski here. Obviously, Brewers are priced like this for a reason, because they have probably the best pitcher in Major League Baseball on the mound right now. Obviously, I think it's safe to say as well, Spoons, Mizorowski will never play in Anaheim unless they do something about that mound, because he was complaining about it. And I got so many text messages about it. I was like, I've never heard anyone complain this much about than this motherfucker right here. But it is what it is.
The issue is that, like, Jacob Mizorowski, the way he pitches, like, he's a giant guy. He's very tall. He gets a ton of extension. Like, he's stepping off the mound to throw the bait. Like, he's halfway to the plate by the time the forcing fastballs flying at you. So he's just hitting a part of the dirt that's a foot in front of where Soriano's foot was coming down. It's the grounds crew aren't aware you need to get that part hard yet. It's an interesting thing there. I also haven't heard a lot of people complain about that specific mound. Some baseball mounds are Mizrachi, one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. Nothing to be said about that. It just is what it is. I think he probably goes out there and pitches well for, I don't know, 5 innings.
Yeah.
He's on an innings limit for the rest of the season. It's not a strict pitch count or anything like that. I think generally kind of just how much did they need him to make it work? And I don't know, Minnesota's offense, basically since Byron Buxton kind of went out the third, fourth time to be done with this, like they've just taken steps backwards. And I don't think they'd step up versus Mizrachi tomorrow. I'd love to say they do. Connor Prielipp becomes the question because I would like to get to an under. I like Connor Prielipp. He's a decent lefty. He's had some moments where he's looked incredibly sharp on the mound this season. Then he's had some really fucking ass moments as well. So I like the Brewers run line here. I would like to get to an under. I think these bullpens can bring it home. I don't think we have to isolate that to a first 5 or first 3. It really comes down to Prielipp. I don't think I can trust him to get through this entire order enough times, but I like the under more than anything at that specific price. I don't think it moves up to an 8. I don't think it moves down to a 7. I think you just see a little bit of price discovery right there around that 7.5 for most of this game tomorrow. Do I have? There is a 7 at Circa. They just popped over there. Everybody else is 7.5. Penny's 7.5 minus 101 to the under. No, Circa's okay. That makes so much more sense. I was so confused. Circa is at 7, but the under is plus 100. My odds board is showing up backwards today. I was absolutely just like confused as all could be with that.
You're good.
Like, how is Circa 25, 45 cents off? Like Pinnacle, that's never happened in my entire life. I don't know. Circa seems very sharp with all their lines. Pinnacle is as well. It probably flirts back and forth. I don't think it ever gets down to a full minus 110.7, but I still like that under.
Still like the under. Shout out to our guy AOD in the building, our guy right there, one of our biggest supporters. Said if you haven't smashed the like button, all your bets will lose tomorrow. That is 100% factual. And shout out to our guy Deacon Mike said Miz could play in the WNBA. He could, but he's making plenty of money in Major League Baseball. I don't know why he'd waste his time there. But shout out to our guy Deacon Mike over there, our Chicago native. Doing big things, always in the chat. Appreciate our guy. Always giving us some fun humor as well. So I always appreciate that. With that being said, let's move on here to our next game here. Spoons, Chicago Cubs taking on the Kansas City Royals. Let's pull this up. We got Matthew Boyd here on the mound, 7-1 record with a 3.59 ERA here for the Chicago Cubs. I believe he got lit up his last time out. And then you got Randy Doback here on the mound. For the Kansas City Royals, in my opinion, the worst team in Major League Baseball. If you look at this lineup right now, I don't even know how they're going to win ball games going forward. Doesn't really make sense to me. This team is trash. Let's look at this market. Let's see if there's any way we can fade this Kansas City Royals team, because I don't know why I haven't been doing it all season long. I've told you guys how much I don't like this team, and I don't ever fade these guys like I should. And this is probably why right here, 90% of tickets and 93% of cash coming in on Matt Boyd and the Chicago Cubs, likely so, coming off the horrible start in his last time out. Got lit up at home, I believe it was. I was watching that game. I can't remember when it was, but I remember watching that game. I can't remember I think I was actually on the over in that game, and it went well over. With that being said here, I'm not going to back the Kansas City Royals, but at the same time, this line's not moving towards the Cubs with all this money and tickets on them. But at the same time, Chicago Cubs team, I mean, you look at these two teams, mismatches everywhere on the field. I'm not going to back the Kansas City Royals here, but at the same time, am I going to take the Chicago Cubs here on the run line? I don't think so. I'm not going to move on that. The run line right now is a minus 105, best number available. Something I might get involved with, Spoons, is actually a team total over here for the Chicago Cubs, because I think they could probably light up Randy Doback and this bullpen that we're probably going to see a lot of here from the Kansas City Royals. Let's just go for that total here before I hand it off to you. 80% of tickets and 90% of cash on the over at a 10. I mean, it makes sense. I want to be on the Cubs team total over. If you have that available right now, Spoons, if you can let me know what it is, that way I can look for it when it comes up on my end here. But take it away here, Matt Boyd going up against the Kansas City Royals. What do you think about this game?
So the best price I see on that team total. On the over is a 111 currently listed at FanDuel. Pinnacle's hanging 112. I don't have a circa number, but 111 is the best number. Novig's 116. Never know what number you're seeing on Novig because it's a peer-to-peer platform, but it's a lot of really sharp guys that can't get money down at books that are putting it there. I think the fact they're a little more juiced, I don't hate that over, but Randy Dobnik's pitched really well. Like, I get people want to fade him because he doesn't have the characteristics of a really good pitcher. He doesn't overpower you with like a huge fastball, doesn't have a slider that runs through the zone, but he pitches with a ton of accuracy. Like he gets the spots where he wants to. It looks like when he walks guys, they're like intentional, like not an actually intentional walk, but I just don't want to face this guy anymore. I'm going to either walk him or make him swing at balls out of the zone. And I'm just going to get a ground ball out the next time. Dominic's been extremely effective at getting a bunch of ground balls. I think the Cubs might struggle a little bit with him early on. Jimmy's book, The Undoing Project, like it's one of his favorite books. The first chapter opens up. It's a book chapter called Man Boobs, and it talks about like evaluating talent in the NBA. And really funny name for a chapter. And partway through it basically like if the guy doesn't look how you want him to look, most people are going to undervalue him in every situation, whether it be drafting him, whether it be pricing him in something like this. And the guy's got sports goggles. Nobody likes anybody with sports goggles. That's the only reason that Randy Dobnik's being priced this way all season. Wind's blown out a little bit. I like that first 3 under again. I mean, it's a derivative number with 2 of the worst bullpens. So what does that mean? Like the first 3 isn't built by like modeling out the first 40 pitches for both of these guys. It's built by taking the total and dividing it by 3 and putting it into that first 3 number. And then they make some adjustments off that. But a lot of times they don't hit that right away. There's no first 3 unders available yet. Let me refresh this. There's got to be a first 3 here. Okay. Under is sitting at minus 140. That's at under 3.5 for the first 3 innings. I think that's way too high. Matthew Boyd bounces back. He's going to have a good game. Yes, he got rocked the time before that, but he gave up 2 runs in the entire month of July before that. This is a spot where I don't trust Kansas City's offense. I don't trust Kansas City's bullpen. I fully expect the Cubs to get the win. Maybe 168 is even a decent price, but I like that first 3 under a lot. It should be 2.5. Kansas City, the wind doesn't affect the ball that much once it starts carrying. This total is high because of the bad, shaky bullpens on both sides, to be honest. Like the Cubs back end, like I like the Zephyr John addition, but I mean, it's still a bad bullpen. It is what it is. And so by the fact they don't model it from the bottom up and they take it from the top down to make that, I think there's some value on that first 3 under because that number's built like using the worst bullpen in baseball in Kansas City and the Cubs that don't have a closer situation role figured out yet. Still, it's almost the playoffs. And that has nothing to do with that first 3. So that's my favorite. Minus 140 is a little expensive. It might keep me off it.
I'm going to be on the Cubs team total over as soon as it becomes available on my end here. I think this total is high for a reason. I don't think it's because Matt Boyd's out there. I think that this Royals, I don't just think that Dobak's going to get lit up. I think this entire bullpen's going to get lit up. I think the Cubs are probably going to be able to score 10 runs on their own tomorrow. Probably minus 168 full game is probably a good number to take them at. If we're being completely honest here, because I think the Cubs are probably going to smash tomorrow. I'm going to be on the Cubs in some sort of way, whether it's on the run line, minus 105 right now is what I'm seeing, minus 1.5, minus 105 right now. And then I'm also considering the team total over. And shout out to our guy Dan Hawks in the building. He said, I'm with Spoons, first 3 under right there. Shout out to our guy Deacon Mike, OC Caps right there as well. Appreciate you guys for being here with us, guys. We appreciate you guys. Let's move on here to our next game here, Spoons. And that is going to be the Colorado Rockies against the St. Louis Cardinals here. Got Michael McGravy here on the mound. 4-9 record. His record doesn't really tell you how good he's been this season. They just haven't been able to back him up in his start.
Did you just call him McGravy?
McGreevy, sorry. If I did, I apologize. McGreevy.
Have you been talking to Steez? There's a guy in not a cat. There's a guy in Kyle's Discord. His name is Steez.
I have not. If I did, it was
hilarious pronunciations of names ever. Every
Well, it's
time he
like,
goes to throw McGreevy out there, it comes out
well, it's like,
McGreevy.
what did
I
Jose
just heard
call?
him say that. I know I
What
did. We can
it's
check the tape.
it's like maybe. Well, it's like that one time too when I remember when you asked Jose, you're like when he said I forgot. I think it might have been he was saying Illinois. Is that what he was saying? And you're
Yes, it
and
is.
it was like, are you saying that on purpose? And I thought about that too. I was like, I know. I was like, he's been saying that for a while.
It's like adding the H and cool.
That's funny, bro. No, but McGreevy, I apologize there on that if I did pronounce that wrong. And then we got Mikey Lorenzen here on the mound. The guy's jacked. The guy's in great shape, but he's just, I don't know if he's much of a major league pitcher at this point anymore. His time was almost done a couple years ago, and he was able to prolong his career a little bit more, make some extra money. So shout out to him. With that being said here, this Rockies team, I said earlier, the Royals are the worst team in baseball. Rockies and Angels are right there with them here. Looking at this team, nothing I like about them at this point in the season. You got Mikey McGreevy here on the mound for the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are probably going to be live here to win this ball game. What are we priced here right now? And let's look at the market here. I know obviously the Cardinals have, since the All-Star break, came back to life. Jordan Walker won that home run derby, and St. Louis has kind of been quiet ever since then. We've got 88% of tickets and 88% of cash coming in on the St. Louis Cardinals. Line's not moving. It's early on. We don't see lines move too much early on this early. It's 8 o'clock over here on the West Coast time. Lines aren't going to move for a couple hours. With that being said here, Cardinals are probably going to smash and grab here. Maybe a Cardinals team total over. We've got a total here at 9.5, a high total here. Let's take a look at the weather here before I hand this off to Spoons. If there's any, yeah, it's going to be a hot day in St. Louis, man. 92 and wind 10 miles per hour out. There's going to be a lot of runs scored in tomorrow's ball game. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm on team totals today, but I'm going to be on the Cardinals team total. I think tomorrow, Spoons. Take it away, Cardinals, Rockies.
This Rockies team used a ton of bullpen arms in that last game. They used quite a few in that 2-3 loss to the Cards 2 days ago. That puts Michael Lorenzen in a spot where he has to go out there on the mound and throw a lot of pitches. Immediately, I just look at the Cardinals, and it's just like knee-jerk reaction. Like, this team shouldn't be a 168 favorite to, like, anybody in baseball right now. Yeah. But you start to pull it in, look a little deeper. Like, Lorenzen's not going deep into this game, which I don't think anybody really expects that. Then he's probably going to pitch poorly, give up a few runs, and then force the already taxed Rockies bullpen to come out here and put up more good innings. Maybe they're a little undervalued because, like, you get the Rockies out of the most, like, offensive park you could possibly pitch in, and then you come to a place like Busch. Like, it's a lot easier to pitch, and the Cardinals lineup isn't that scary by any means. But I would like to get to an under, honestly, but the state of the Rockies bullpen is just not going to allow me to do it because I know Lorenzen's going to give up a few. I guess it has to be first 5 minus a half for the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't like this offense enough to already have this bet, but they have the money line priced very expensively. It's sitting 166 at the only book that'll even open it up right now. For example, I can get a 147 on the full game money line. So more expensive, not crazy more expensive. But I like St. Louis first 5 minus a half. When you go to build that, you can get it at minus 114. That what you're betting there is the Cardinals to be up after 5 innings. And it just seems like a good spot for that to be at. I think by the time we get there, Lorenzen hasn't pitched all 5 innings. I think it's maybe like 4 innings of Lorenzen. The worst bullpen arm for the Rockies. And, you know, McGreevy's an undervalued pitcher still, in my opinion. I know he's had some rough starts, but truly does remind me of a younger Kyle Hendricks, a guy that just forces frustration out of these batters that are used to seeing guys like Mizorowski who are throwing 100 and they got to try to stay up with it. And now all of a sudden the fastball's coming out at 90, 89, and then the changeup's dropping in at 80, and he can throw a curveball in for a strike that just dots the corner, and you're like, what was I going to do with that pitch? Nothing. I had to lay off that because it was going to be a ball. When he's on, he's really on, and I think a lineup like the Rockies is one he could pitch pretty well to. I think the Cardinals first 5 minus a half. I wish I was getting plus money with that, but honestly, even at minus 114, I still think that closes well.
Okay, we can move on here to our next game. I'm going to get involved on the Cardinals team total over as soon as it's available to me. We've got the Baltimore Orioles coming in against the Texas Rangers. Cade Povich here on the mound. I like Cade Povich. I think he's a pretty good pitcher. He's obviously had some injuries this season. You got Kumar Rocker on the other side here for the Texas Rangers that are still fighting to try to make a playoff spot. The AL West is wide open with those last three teams right there with Houston, Texas, and Seattle. It's going to come down to these next couple months. It's going to be fun to watch, honestly, just from a fan of baseball, even though that it's kind of I don't know, this division is not good by any means. But with that being said here, the Orioles still hanging around, I don't have the best vibes around the dugout. It seems like I saw some reports about that Gunnar Henderson might not even re-sign him this next year, which I don't believe is true because they probably would have traded him. I know he's not having a good year, but I mean, he's still.
They just couldn't get anything for him because there's no years of control left
that
and
is
everything. I think that's a team option. I don't have his contract right up in front of me, but I believe they still have an option to bring him back, and that's what the controversy with that article was about. It doesn't have to be like a full new contract, but the Orioles got to make some decisions. I don't know that he necessarily needs to be in there.
I don't either. I heard someone. It was funny. I saw like an Angels beat writer or someone saying like Angels should pay him whatever money he wants, and I was like, that's hilarious. Don't want that to happen. But shout out to our guy Guns Picks in the building right there. Shout out to him. Can't wait to be talking college ball with him here. Not too long from now. I'm excited. Shout out to our guy right there, Guns Picks. Go give him a follow there on Twitter. Doing everything the right way when it comes down to sports betting. He puts a lot of time and effort into everything he does. So whether he wins or loses, he's passionate about it. And I know he wins a lot more than he loses. So shout out to our guy Guns Picks right there. Let's move on here to this game here, those Spoons. We've got Kumar Rocker here on the mound, as I've already talked about. Let's go over the market here before I hand this off. I've only moved on two plays here today, guys. Pirates Mets under 8.5 minus 120, and the Guardians money line minus 110. Got some team totals that I'm circling around, waiting for the lines to pop up, and I'm going to attack those. But as far as this game goes here, let's pull up the market. 71% of tickets and only 43% of cash coming in on the Baltimore Orioles. So a lot of tickets coming in on Cade Povich as expected. He's pitched well this year, and the Orioles are playing better baseball. They're still right there, a little bit under 500. They're probably not going to be there in the postseason unless they make some kind of hell of a run. A game I want nothing to do with here, Spoons. We've got the Texas Rangers as the favorites here at a minus 135. I'm seeing at my book right now. I'm seeing some minus 127s at Kalshi right now as well. Spoons, take it away. Baltimore Orioles, Texas Rangers.
I want to back Cade Povich. He's a lefty out there. I mean, the Rangers have found some time to do damage, but not a ton. He's got the reverse splits where he's very efficient at getting righties out like you'd expect him to be, but not as good versus lefties. And I mean, you do have Corey Seager in the top of this lineup. Nimmo's over there on the Texas lineup as well. Two decent lefty bats at the top of the order, but I think Povich pitches well. I mean, what we've seen from him in the limited amount of innings we've seen so far, been all really decent baseball. And I mean, he's only had the one start since he came back, and he looked very healthy in that game. 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. Allowed a couple of hits to this Angels team, but that's a really bad lineup. It's a little bit of a step up in competition to face Texas, so I'm not sure he pitches as well, and I kind of feel like this line's almost being priced like he's going to pitch very well, because I would have almost expected Rocker to be favored a little bit more here. He has the name value, the notoriety that kind of comes with that. Vanderbilt guy, one of the high prospects coming out of that draft, and he's had a pretty rough season to start it out, but last few games he's going out there, 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs versus the White Sox, 2 earned runs versus the Mariners in 7 innings, and then last time out versus the Astros, gave up 3 runs on 10 hits, but just 3 runs. I'd like to back Baltimore. I don't trust Kumar Rocker. I think this line is a little bit fishy that Texas isn't favored more than this, because it's not like we're playing this game on a neutral or anything. This is in Texas's ballpark. And this is traditionally one of the more pitcher-friendly parks. It's hard to get overs in that park. I think Povich goes out there, pitches well. maybe Rocker can find a way to pull it off, but I just have more faith in Baltimore's offense right now. I'd like to back Povich full game. This is one game I don't have the bullpens fully updated for, so I can't give you anything there. But just looking at the days before, I don't think we're in a situation that I'm worried about for Baltimore.
Shout out to our guy Rob Burke said I keep rewatching him saying McGravy. I might have said it. That's funny. Shout out to you, my guy. Shout out to our guy Jerry Davis in the building right there as well. I haven't seen our guy Jerry for a while. Every time I see Jerry Davis, I always think of my grandpa, RIP, because his name was Jerry. So appreciate our guy Jerry Davis in the chat. Hope all is well here. Say again?
I just want to shout out Swig. I know he's got the wrench back there where he can fix it. We got one cat in there, keeps making like just really off-color comments. We don't need to see it. We've seen like 4 or 5 of them already. We can just go ahead and hit the block on that. He'll know what name it is right off. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You can continue to go on.
Oh, yeah, I see it right here. Michael could. Yep. We good. Got him out of there right there. Sorry, I should be better at that as well. He's got all right. There we go. Rangers still batting with they're still battling with the Astros. Yeah, that division's wide open because 340. I wouldn't be surprised to even see the Mariners somehow bust off a nice winning streak. I hope not. Like, you guys know, I hate the Mariners, but I think it's going to be at the Astros that probably end up taking over that division. But with that being said here, let's move on to our next game here, Spoons. We've got the Detroit Tigers and the San Francisco Giants on the mound here. Detroit Tigers fighting for the playoffs, and the Giants, 20 games under 500 right now? This line is fishy. I mean, is this line not fishy here, Spoons? I know Logan Webb's on the mound. He's definitely aged over the years, but he's still been serviceable throughout his entire career. Melton on the mound here for the Detroit Tigers, 80% of tickets and 92% of cash coming in on the Detroit Tigers. Line's not really moving. I want to be on the San Francisco Giants here, and I know it's a play that everyone in the chat's probably like, why is Wine Time going to back the San Francisco Giants? They're a horrible team. This line just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Troy Melton here on the mound, 7-1 record with a 1.58 ERA. Logan Webb, I mean, we know Logan Webb has been good in the past. He's 7-7 with a 3.75 ERA. He's been good this year. And they've got a decent lineup in there still. I know they got rid of Luis Arias. This lineup isn't good, but it's not horrible. This is just one of those lines where it makes absolutely no sense. I know there's only really 7-8 games that separate these two teams, but the Detroit Tigers are right there trying to make the playoffs. And you got a guy with a 7-1 record with a 1.58 ERA here in Troy Melton. Don't know a lot about Troy Melton here, Spoon, so I'm going to have you probably break this guy down a little bit more for me. Haven't really been backing Tigers games in general. I just haven't gotten a good read on this team all season long, so I haven't paid a ton of attention to them. I want to be on the Giants here, though, Spoons. Best number available I can get right now is a even at plus 100. I'm going to wait because this is going to be one of those lines where I text you tomorrow and say, why didn't I wait until tomorrow? This is a plus 110. As long as it doesn't move past a plus 110, I'm going to be on the San Francisco Giants. I'm writing it down right now. San Francisco Giants on the money line here. Spoons, what do you think about this game, my guy?
Yeah, so Melton, I mean, this has been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. It doesn't matter if he's on the road, doesn't matter if he's at home. His full season road ERA is sitting 1.17 with a 0.88 RIP. That's a little bit better than his just full season ERA, which is sitting at 1.61 with a 0.92 whip. This guy's just absolutely electric. If you want to find one thing he struggles with a little bit, it's lefties. The OPS is sitting at 624, which is still pretty good, but it's got a 432 PS versus righties. Like, righties can physically not touch Troy Melton's stuff right now. The one thing the Giants kind of have going for him here is, I mean, they can stack maybe 5-6 lefties in this lineup. Eldridge, Lee, Devers, Kavanaugh, Gilbert. It's not the best lefties, though. And the way Melton's gone out there and pitched, like, he's seeing lefties in some of these lineups. The Yankees lineup is full of them, blanked them. White Sox lineup full of them, blanked them. And, I mean, he's had a couple bad games throughout the course of the season, but I think this is shockingly low price.
He's lights out all season long. And shout out to our guy Dan Hawkins. Sorry to interrupt you, Spoons, but he said, if you don't know too much, why are you fading him? It's not that I'm looking at his numbers. I've seen him pitch this season, but when you look at a guy that's pitched this well, especially as of late, and he's priced at this price against one of the worst teams in baseball, books are telling us something here. They're telling us that Troy Melton is either vulnerable or Logan Webb's going to go out there and pitch absolute lights out, Spoons. So for that reason, I am going to be on the Giants here, but I apologize. Continue.
Yeah. And I mean, it's Logan Webb at home. Like, we can say whatever you want, but like over the course of this guy's career in this ballpark, I mean, you'd be very hard pressed to find a pitcher in their home ballpark that's kept their team in more positions to win games, just shut down their opponents. But that being said, this is a year where Logan Webb has fallen off a little bit. He's bounced back here in maybe his last 4 games, getting deep into games, still getting those innings, 6 and a third, 3 earned runs versus Seattle, 4 versus the Angels, which, I mean, we should put like an asterisk around that because it's like 8 versus any other team, right? And then 2 earned runs versus Milwaukee, and then just absolutely blanks Texas last time out. He's back at home. I always like this guy at home, but Tigers are the best team in baseball hitting righties right now. Number 1 OPS over the last month. They're top 5-6 team in weighted runs created for the full year. Like, this is an offense that's really starting to click. You got Troy Melton on the mound. I want to just hit the button. Maybe it's fishy or something. I don't know. Like, it's Logan Webb at home. You can't. How far can you make it? Like, he's already not a favorite.
I mean, shout out to our guy Swig right there on the 1s and 2s. He made a great point right here. Melton first 5 versus Webb at home. Why not just take the first 5 under here? I kind of want to take an under here in this. That makes perfect sense here in these first 5 is with both these pitchers is that maybe Troy Melton's not going to get lit up, but maybe Logan Webb's just going to go out there and pitch lights out 5-6 innings of shutout baseball. And, we're going to have to rely on the offense to score a couple runs and the bullpen to take over from there. So like I said, I don't know. I want to be on the Giants here, Spoons, but at the same time, I kind of want to be on this first 5 under here at the same time. So I'm going to take a step back as of right now. I'm going to let this market marinate a little bit more these next couple hours. Guys, everyone in the chat, let me know what you guys think about this game because I'm really curious too, because I feel like this is the most fascinating game on the card right now, in my opinion, because this just makes no sense. But again, we backed Bob's stock last week, Spoons. I did, and he didn't. I think they lost that game, right? They did, because that was the difference between a 1-2 and a 2-1 day. We were on the Mets because it was a fishy line. I think it was against Sandy Alcantara and the Miami Marlins in that spot last week. This is another spot where it just, to me, it just doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm going to fade the side that probably 95% of people are going to take. If I lose, I lose. If I lose $500 on this game, it is what it is. Lost plenty of money in baseball this year. So with that being said here, I'm going to be on the San Francisco Giants, Spoons. I'm just going to wait and see if I can get a plus 110 available tomorrow. And I also want to be involved in this first 5 under here. This might be a double up spot in this game here. Anything else in this game?
I'm going through everything here. I want Detroit. So I just got back from Vegas. Obviously, all my books are like desynced. They're not hooking up. I'm trying to log into the best price I can get on Detroit, which is minus 110 on the money line. You're not going to tell me that's not going to close well. I'm maybe getting into a little bit of a fishy line. That's just the lamest stuff. It finally lets me in, and it moved 5 cents as soon as I hit it. So minus 115, that's the best price against the board. It's trying to put me in on a different account that I had access to with the same book, and it's just frustrating. I just lost 5 cents there. I still like Detroit money line. I liked it more at 110. I like it at 115. I think this closes 130-ish. There's no bullpen issues on either side. Melton's not in a situation where I'm worried about his innings limits, pitch counts. And, this Tigers team is in the thick of a playoff battle right now.
Yeah.
They need to stack wins. You have your stud on the mound right now. You have an offense that's clicking. The Tigers are sitting 3.5 games back of the White Sox tomorrow. So you have 2 of these teams playing in division right now against each other. So someone's obviously going to take a loss. The Twins and the Guardians are tied 1.5 game back of the White Sox, and then 2 for the Tigers. This is a spot where the Tigers can pick up some ground. I like them full game money line. They've been a team that's, fared pretty well on the road, like 27-33, but most teams have a losing record. Just to be 6 games under 500 doesn't scare me that much.
Yeah.
I love Logan Webb. He probably does pitch well. I'll probably be watching after the 6th inning and being like, Man, why didn't I just do what Swig said and take the first 5 under? But
I'm gonna move on the first 5 unders.
I'm playing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out to Swig, and if it does cash, I'm gonna have to ask him for his address and send him a little baseball hat or something. Maybe I'll send him a San Francisco Giants hat or something. But I think I want to get involved with this first 5 under and Giants full game. But I love your breakdown as well, though. And I shout out to everyone in the chat. A lot of people are saying the Tigers too. You know what I mean? It just makes sense to take them. I get it. And if what you said is true and they are a minus 130 when I wake up tomorrow, I will not hit the button, and I'm going to wait until tomorrow to hit the button. So as of right now, guys, I know I just said I was going to be on the Giants. Haven't pressed it quite yet. I want to press it. I need some more time on this game here. It's very fascinating, and maybe I just stay away in general, and it is what it is, you know. But with that being said here, let's move on to our last game on the card. Someone just said that this game is going into extras. I was just looking at all the live lines 15, 20 minutes ago, and the Arizona Diamondbacks were plus 565 live, down 1-0. So I'm guessing it is a 1-1 game here. 1-1 game here, and the Diamondbacks are the favorite here at minus 130, and I'm going to get involved here right now. Let me just throw a little 150 on it really quick here and make sure it processes. And we are in. Bet accepted. Okay, so we are good. Arizona Diamondbacks live minus 131 here. Nothing crazy, nothing official, but did just place that. Let's move on here to this next game here. Last game on the card, I believe we skipped a game. We didn't have graphics for the Athletics and Red Sox. We'll go over that here after this game. And I believe we might have missed the Houston Astros and the San Diego Padres, so we will go over that as well. Wait, I apologize. Let me see. We still have we don't have any games left on here. So we'll go back over those games here at the end here. But Roblowski here on the mound going up against Grayson Rodriguez from the Arizona Diamondbacks here. Last year, you guys know the Diamondbacks kind of stole my heart. Was a big fan of this team. This year, not so much. Haven't been backing them a ton, and I probably should because they've been playing some really good baseball here. I like everything that Arizona is doing over there. The Dodgers, obviously, what have they lost 6 in a row, I think, going into this game, that they're in extra innings
7.
now. 7?
7 in a row. Last night was ridiculous. I didn't have a ton of action while I was in Vegas because I was doing so much stuff. We were all hanging out in the book. The Dodgers go down a run. I'm like, D-backs open. We're getting this run back. We're going to score. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Get the Dodgers plus money, down a run. It's like an inning, two innings later. Immediately score. They go up. We're doing other stuff. It's bottom of the 9th. There's an out. I walk away, completely like gone from this game. Bunch of people watching at the sportsbook, and I just hear like a loud rumble and just like and like a very loud Dodgers effing sucked. And I just look over and they're just re-showing it. And I was like, why? So 7 in a row they have lost. Will that continue into tomorrow? I don't think so. I guess where's the argument? Why not? So if we really think about this, like, what are the Dodgers playing for right now? Nothing. Like, there's no advantage right now. They're 69-47. The best record in the NL is likely going to go to the Milwaukee Brewers, who are just continuing to not lose baseball games. 73-44. Very impressive record. The Dodgers, they could catch them, but they have such a healthy lead in this division. The Diamondbacks are up even on the Padres. Like, nobody's going to catch them. There's nothing bad happens here if they continue to drop games. So the lack of motivation is definitely a little bit worrisome. And just the way the back end of the Dodgers bullpen has been performing recently, that should be a red flag for some of us. But they're the better team. Robleski, maybe not the better pitcher versus Rodriguez. We got to give him his flowers. This guy's pitched his ass off all season. Been one of the better pitchers in baseball. Dodgers bats are struggling a little bit here, but this is easy for me. I really like the Dodgers. Minus 140-ish. You can get just about anywhere around. Yeah. I'm interested in playing it. After last night, I have the recency bias just like baked into my mind where I don't want to touch it. But I really want, like, the handicapping part of me wants to hit the Dodgers, and the gambling degenerate in me wants to find a way to back Rodriguez somehow. So maybe I'll stay off it, but Dodgers should win this game easily. This should be priced at minus 165, on the road. And it's not because of Rodriguez, it's because of every other factor in this game. He's just one person that in good situation goes out there for 6 innings. 5 innings is probably more likely. 4 innings of a bad bullpen versus the Dodgers. Wrobleski's not a bad pitcher. I don't know. It's so tough with the recent form of the Dodgers, but sometimes you just got to fade what your eyes are seeing.
It's true. And I mean, if the Dodgers on a losing streak, it's probably not a bad idea to just take them in these next couple of games. And
you go to catch the ball and you can't grab it.
Especially at an affordable price. I'm seeing what you're seeing. I'm seeing minus 140s everywhere right now for Wroblewski. It depends on what happens here today in this game. But I mean, if the Dodgers on the heels of getting swept, I might have to be right there with you. It's just nowhere I want to be. I think it was on Godfather's birthday on Monday. I gave him a birthday play and I told him to take the Dodgers. Forgot who they played and they just got smashed like from start to finish. And you know me, Spoons, whenever we talk Dodger games, I kind of just pass it off to you because I never get this team right year in and year out. I never can. When I'm on them, when I'm off them, I'm just always on the wrong side. Doesn't change for me here. I'm off this game here. Won't back anything in this game here, Spoons. We've got 2 games that we don't have graphics for, so we'll just go over them really quickly. We'll talk about both of them here, and that's going to be the soon-to-be Las Vegas Athletics going up against our guy and a place where I will probably be here in these next couple weeks. Shout out to our guy Guns Picks. I will be in Boston most likely at the end of the month and Rhode Island with our guy Nasty Nate. So if you're in the area, my guy, come check us out. With that being said here, Boston Red Sox, I mean, this is what baseball is all about right here. Everything that they're doing, playing baseball the right way. They pretty much almost gutted their entire team. They gutted their entire coaching staff, said, hey, whatever you guys are doing, it's wrong. It's not going to work out. And they said, you know what, this roster that you gave us is wrong. It turns out I was wrong as well because I was kind of with the coaching staff with the Boston Red Sox thinking like, what kind of team is this that you're giving them? This team wins baseball games night in and night out. They just play the game the right way. It kind of reminds me of watching Fever Pitch, the movie. You know what I mean? Like just like
watch that on the plane coming back today.
Oh, it's one of the best spoons. It's one of the best rom-coms in the game. Like I'm not even a rom-com guy, but like you sit down and watch that, like it just makes you happy. You know what I mean? It's cool. Like whenever I watch with my wife, I always just think I'm like, you know, because I'm such a sports guy and it's just all about sports, and she's not about my wife. Don't watch sports. She is not a sports person whatsoever. So with that being said, I just always enjoy watching it. And what they're playing right now reminds me of that because it's almost like Moneyball too when they're holding that sign when the Red Sox are going for 21 straight games and says we may never lose again. That's the kind of baseball that the Red Sox are playing. Will it happen in October when it matters most? I don't know. That's going to be a question we're going to have to see for ourselves. But this team they're laying minus 180 prices now, Spoons. This team is laying minus 180 prices against all of these bottom feeders that they were minus 110s against about a month ago. It's kind of crazy. I'm off this game because the Red Sox are just too expensive and the Athletics, I don't know what happened, but this team they may never win another game again. So with that being said,
they're missing like 3 of their most productive bats is what's kind of happened to the Athletics.
Yeah.
They don't have the best pitching staff. The offense is taking steps back, and they have a bad bullpen. It's a bad math problem to try to win games with.
Especially in the beginning of the season too, like a lot of people were looking at their offensive numbers and being like, what if Kirk's like played in Vegas? Like imagine him playing in Vegas, and it's like, yeah, because these are hitter-friendly ballparks that pretty much anyone could go there and fucking have a good season. So I feel like a lot of their home games, especially when they're playing in Summerlin, they got a lot of their stats from the offensive side and even playing in Sacramento. But when it comes down to road games, I feel like they can't really score runs. So I'm off this game entirely, Spoons. Won't talk too much about it. Let's talk about the Houston Astros and the San Diego Padres before we get out of here, because this is this is something that –
real quick in that game. So today we saw the Athletics get a win. Gage jumped. Their best pitcher was on the mound. Ginn's been awesome for a majority of the season, but he's a very mediocre pitcher. And when we look at this game, like Boston has a great bullpen, like one of the best bullpens in all of baseball right now. The Athletics do have the opposite side of that. Ryan Baio is out there. This guy's been pitching pretty well at home here recently. I think this is a smash and grab kind of situation for the Reds. Like, I'm ready to play this. I know this is juicy, but I think I can hit just the straight money line
on Red Sox.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. The kind of shout out to our guy Nasty Nate. Our guy Nasty Nate, you know, one of the better people in this industry. We're gonna go out to Rhode Island, and he's got a whole spot laid out for us. You know, he rents an Airbnb and all this good stuff because the Red Sox just don't lose games. He bets on them every single game, and I'm sure he's made a ton of cash. So shout out to him. Doesn't matter what the numbers are, they are winning ball games. So if you're winning ball games, just keep betting this team. What is the best number available here for this game here, Spoons?
So, I had a line loaded in one of my odd shoppers, and it was showing me 182. I don't have a single book open with it, so likely what that means is there's an offshore that has a 182. If that line opens up like over 200, I'm not playing it. If that line's 180, I think I might hit the button. I don't like the run line just because Boston's so good at winning one-run games. That's what that great bullpen does for you. I'm not buying into the Athletics bats being back because they got 7 runs on the board today. Clap your hands. Congratulations. Let's move on to the next one.
Let's go. We've got one game to talk about, guys. But that's what I was saying. I just broke the seal. There's nothing better than when you just hear that crack sound. Pouring in a little bit in this right here, guys. A little rum and coke action on them. Only 8:30 here, West Coast time, so not too late. Gonna probably cap for the next hour or two. I've got some work to do on the Big Ten still, guys. I'm behind. You know, there's no secret about it. But I'm putting the work in, Spoons, for these college football
Toledo week 1 money line. They're catching 2 touchdowns.
Who?
Toledo week 1 money line. They're catching 2 touchdowns to Michigan State. Michigan State has Northwestern's old coach coming over. Yeah. But he's not coming over from like an active roster where you're bringing a bunch of players in with you. He's trying to restart a new. Maybe he gets that program like ship shape in a couple of years, but I think this is going to be a rough one.
Wait, Michigan State. Sorry, Toledo against Michigan State's 14. Oh, dude! Wow. That's.
That was one of the things I was waiting to get back to hit. I talked with a ton of big college football guys, and
Fitzgerald's been coaching high school football last 3 years.
I pay attention to our Big Ten and MAC ones, and kind of like a perfect sweet spot for the overlap. And Ian McMurphy really kind of was hitting on how bad Michigan State's going to be, and then you start looking at the schedule, and it's like, this isn't price. The money line's a long shot. Like that's definitely no lock.
Sprinkle.
It's not going to be a 2-touchdown spread when we get there on Saturday. In a couple Saturdays,
it's probably going to be a 12.5. But with that being said, Spoons, I've done a lot of I've actually done a lot of work on Michigan State, and Fitzgerald, shout out to him, did a lot of good things at Northwestern, took some time off with his kids. His kids play high school football. He went and coached there, you know what I mean? Took some time away. But guys, it's not similar to Bill Belichick, because Bill Belichick has that like football, and you know he might be one of the greatest coaches of all time and all that stuff. But these guys have been away from this sport for a couple years now, and this sport has changed so much to the point where you've got to bring in, you've got to know not just NIL and recruiting and transfer. There's so much stuff that you have to do nowadays, head coaching. And this guy's been out of the game for 4 years now, 4 years. And he was coaching high school football, guys. Like, shout out to him. High school football it was a blast doing it with his kids and stuff. But this is a program that is expecting that he's going to come in there and change it. I don't think he's going to personally. I don't like the moves he made on offensive coordinator. They got the offensive coordinator, the quarterback coach from Bama that came over that absolutely took that Alabama offense to trash, and that's why they had to get Ryan Grubb back in there. But I believe he's the play caller over there now. I just don't like the hires Michigan State did. I don't like the direction they're going. So, Spoons, I will be looking at that game right after we get off here, because I told Moose I haven't placed any bets yet until I
find a line for it right now.
Yeah, I haven't placed any bets yet because I
heard between 13.5 ish.
I want to wait until I cap all of the conferences until I actually play stuff. I know there's a couple of futures out there that I have written down that I will place that I just haven't yet. But Spoons, let's get into our next game here. We've got Houston Astros against the San Diego Padres. Let's just go over this really quick here before we get out of here. This is Sunday Night Baseball. Christian Javier on the mound, obviously had some injuries this year. Randy Vasquez on the mound here for the San Diego Padres. You want to back the Padres at home and fade them on the road. I don't know. This team, I feel like might have a spark these next couple months here, Spoons. I don't know what it is. I'm seeing something from them, I believe. And do I want to back them here? I don't know. I don't think so. I kind of just want to take a pass on this game, but let's go over the market. And I might be on them. 84% of tickets and 76% of cash coming in on Christian Javier and the Houston Astros. Lines moving towards Randy Vasquez and the San Diego Padres. In fact, they're a favorite now. I don't know where this opened up at. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research, but I mean, BetMGM right now has a minus 150 for the Astros, but Circa has a minus 125 for the Padres. This is going to be a game that needs time.
Whoa. What does MGM have on the Padres?
Minus 150.
They have a 150
on the Astros.
What's their price on the Astros then?
I'm trying to pull up right now. Let me see. Plus 125.
That can't be right.
Right? That's what I'm saying. That makes no sense. But Hard Rock has a minus 140. ESPN Bets has a minus 145.
Get it right now.
Let me see what I can. Let's see what the best number I can get right here. I can't even get it right now, Spoons. Let me refresh. But
it should be 105. 105 is the fair price for that. That's where it should be at. What I like in this game most is just the over. Like if we look at these Astros scores and Christian Javier games over the last few seasons, like they're always just through the roof. When he shows up to the ballpark, for some reason, the bats do too. To start the season, 9 versus 11 in a win versus the Angels. Comes back versus the Athletics, a score that finishes 4-11 in a loss. Next game out, Colorado, 10 runs are scored. 18 runs versus Tampa Bay, 10 runs versus Washington, 11 runs versus Texas. It's slowed down a little bit here, but it was versus Toronto, a team that can't hit anyone. So he goes out there, pitches well. I mean, that's one game. Then we look at it so the Padres have a great bullpen, and Randy Vasquez has one thing that he struggles with. It's lefties. The Astros don't have a ton of lefties, but they do have one really important lefty named Yordan Alvarez at the top of that order. So you're either forced to walk him 3 times with Randy Vasquez, which 2 walks for Yordan Alvarez tomorrow. I mean, that's probably a plus EV bet. You make an alt there, find the best number, and take that. But I think Randy goes out there, pitches maybe decent for an inning or 2, but I think he starts to fall apart. This Houston lineup is hitting the baseball very well right now versus right-handed pitching. We were talking about the Tigers, who are all over the top of the list versus righties right now. Well, if you look right underneath them, the Astros are sitting there on every single statistical category. And I think the Astros get to Vasquez tomorrow by the end of the game. I think the magic that whatever Christian Javier does, maybe he pays them extra money if they score runs or something. There's got to be some sort of correlation here. But I think Javier gets rocked. And the only thing that scares me is a good Padres bullpen. But Mason Miller's on 2 of the last 3 days. That's an arm that's not likely to go 3 or 4 days. Maury Hone is on 2 of the last 3 days. I could see them bringing him into close. They're less worried about that arm long term. Estrada, another one of their best pitchers, 2 of 3 days, and a lot of pitches for him. So you're getting the backup guys. You're not getting Mason Miller and Maury Hone. You're getting Kyle Hart and Wandy Peralta, Yuki Matsui. It's the second tier. And I think this all just correlates to an over. I like this over. I'm going to move on it.
Let's go. Spoons is going to move on the over here in this game. Sunday Night Baseball here tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us. Say it one more time.
I was positive that was going to be a 9. I had everything pulled up for just money line, run line, Sims and stuff. And I looked at my number for the total. I'm so far over this fucking number. It's 8.5. I think minus 115 is the best number I can get right now. I'm about to move on it.
Let's go. I will go over my action. Just 2 plays here for me, guys, so far. I'm probably going to have 5+ plays tomorrow, guys. So I will put my action in the chat and on Twitter, guys. Go follow me, Wine Time Sports. Follow our guy Spoons Bets as well. And, guys, I get so many comments. Is his name Spoon or Spoons? You call him both. Does it really matter? So, I mean, at the end, go.
You can pick anything. It's just whatever form of my last name is Spooner. I've had the nickname revolving around that since I was a child. In 4th grade, my elementary school teacher, when she goes to calling me, "Yo, Spoons, what do you think?" It was just Wine Time right there.
There we go. I love it. My official plays, guys, are the Pirates and Mets under 8.5 -120, and the Cleveland Guardians money line -110. I'll be posting my action all in the comment section and on my Twitter by tomorrow, guys. I apologize. Sometimes I lag. Sometimes I post it right before. It depends on when I can post it. If you guys know me and you guys really want my plays, you can always message me. If you have my personal number, you can always text me and I'll let you know my plays. But sometimes a little bit late to post in the comment section. But I try my best over here, trying to be a dad over here.
So. Juice Reel, I promise we can get all your books synced. We can
I know I need to do that. I'm going to before college football. That's going to be
if you're worried about like some of your action not being able to get in because they're like weird books or whatnot, we can work around it and make it syncable. Like there's stuff. He's trying to make it accessible to everyone, especially people that use offshores, because a lot of the best gamblers, that's what they're forced to use is offshores, because once they killed the rec books hard enough, they ran out of rec book options.
Yeah.
You find all my action there on Juice Reel, free link on my X. I'll be hopping on with Kyle here a couple times this week. I'm not sure if I'll be on tonight or not. I was texting back and forth with him earlier. Great week at Bet Bash. I totally recommend it if you're serious about this kind of stuff. The further you get to it, looking into it one time, I hope to see you there next year. I'm going to try to make it happen. Great show. Nice hopping on with you here again. I only have the two bets right now. Houston and San Diego over 8.5, -115, and Detroit Tigers -115 money line. There's a bunch of first threes I have circled. The issue with it right now is like around midnight is like 2 or 3 more books that open up those derivative markets, like first 5 and first 3 totals. And the more options you get, sometimes you get a better price. Like I hate to press the button right now and then 10 cents cheaper, because they're so far. The derivative markets are harder to be like accurate on. Like most books will be within 10 cents on the money lines for like full games. But then you look at that first 3 money line, there's the variance goes up. It's now like a 20% difference from the best prices. So I'll be looking to hit some of those derivatives there. But good luck tomorrow, guys. Good luck tomorrow one time. Great show as always. Appreciate your time and effort.
I appreciate your time and effort, Spoons, and I'm glad you had a great time at Bet Bash, my guy. Like I said, I'm hoping I can make it out there next year. Just love doing all this stuff with fellow cappers that I talk to on screen, watch on screen, and just it's always good to know knowledge from other people, man. I can't tell you how important that is, guys. So appreciate you guys as always for being here with us, guys. We will be here again next Saturday, same time here, 7 p.m. over here on West Coast, 10 p.m. on the East Coast. And guys, remember, it's always easier to sleep in the black.
It's easier to sleep in the black. When you're losing your ass and feeling so, you know what to do. Tune in to Pub Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride, you're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter, these shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Debbie and the fam, Dutch wine time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button, don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.